morning. It's 8:30 on Sunday, August the 4th. And as you've seen, I've just got the bus from Leven back here to Kircaldy, back to those massive flats just across the road which I'm looking at, which you can see all the way from Edinburgh, as clear as day. They really stand out like quite a signal. Very tall flats actually, and painted in a very light colour obviously. And my plan today is just to walk back to Leven. I got the bus out of here last night from near these flats. In actual fact, I was given a bit of bad information. I was standing at the wrong bus stop waiting for the wrong bus, and you've got to trust people who have, you assume, have local knowledge. But the guy who set me up to stand around for an hour, in actual fact, when I should have been round the corner just up the road here, about maybe 200 or 300 yards on the left, outside a shop called Rejects. And so it's the bus stop's actually got the name Rejects as well. What happens if the business changes then? Did they change the bus stop name as well? Interesting. So it's about an 8-mile walk back to Leven. I got about halfway yesterday, and the reason I've started so early this morning is quite simply that I want to get back as early as possible and get out of Leven as soon as possible, for one reason and one reason only, and that is the internet is virtually non-existent in Leven. I managed to find a place last night to get onto the internet after driving around for about half an hour. I went up to some higher ground, but even then the signal didn't last long. My mobile didn't work properly. I managed to have quite a nice long chat with Trish last night, and she's fine. And I was keen to obviously get that in last night, to get a call in, and it took a bit of doing to find a place, but I got there in the end. So I don't see the point in hanging around in Leven. So as soon as I walk through, should be there for about midday maybe, something like that, I'll be straight out of there and move on up towards St Andrews and try and find a town or a city or whatever with decent internet to aim at for the next call, because I'll need decent internet to upload this video and yesterday's video, and I haven't even started editing it yet. The weather this morning is drizzling. It's raining slightly now, but you can feel that this is soon going to end. The sun is going to come out again. It's going to be very much like yesterday, I think. And can't even get the internet to look at the apps. So I'm taking a bit of a gamble, really. I think I should be okay with the weather, and I'm quite sure it's going to be pretty much the same as it has been for the last few days. So it's time for me to say, see you, Jimmy. I'm still in Ravenscraig Park in Kircaldy, and I've bumped into Kirsty. I'm sorry, my name's. So Kirsty, you're just out with this little dog. He's settled down now. I don't think he liked the look at me of me really.
I think it's possibly hats he doesn't like.
Yes, maybe so. And this is an unusual one. A friend bought me. It's got a light on it.
Yeah.
And it's great. So is this a regular thing, taking your dog for?
Yep, every Sunday morning.
Every Sunday.
Yeah, and we're just about to go and meet my mum and her dog, although Morag's a little bit elderly, so it's a slightly more sedate walk once we meet them.
Right. Did the dogs get on?
Oh, they love each other. Absolutely adore each other.
Well, that's better than tearing chunks out of each other.
Yes, definitely.
So are you like a walker generally then, or
I
maybe...
wasn't really until I got my dog. I have to admit.
But that's a good way to get started, isn't it?
It is, yes.
You want to get yourself one of these Fitbit things that count every step.
That would just tell me how lazy I am.
Really? Yeah. Well, I mean, walking isn't for everybody, but I mean, it's something I recommend, you know, and I mean, this is I mean, I know it's raining at the moment, actually, but I think it's going to stop, and I think it's going to be much
I think it's to be on and off all day.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to get this leg over. The reason being that in Leven, the internet is absolutely appalling.
Yes.
So I want to get out of there as soon as I can and move on further north.
It can be quite patchy up the coast.
Yes, I know. It's a bit of a worry actually, because the further north I go, I think the worse it's going to get.
You'll be fine when you get up Dundee and Aberdeen way.
Well, yes, I'm sure so. But you know, once you know, I didn't expect to have problems as early as this, really.
Yes.
And I got through it and everything. But I've got to broadcast this film, and you've got to have good internet to do that. You know, it's just finding it really. Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you, Kirsty.
And good luck with the rest of your travels.
Thank you very much, and
thank you.
Check me out on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you very much indeed. Nice to see you.
And you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
It's just after 9 o'clock now, and my optimism for the weather, I'm quite sure it's going to be okay. It started like this nearly every morning, so it's no surprise to me, and it usually sort of brightens up by about 10 or 11. I thought I'd just get this out of the way this morning for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. I just want to get to Leven and then move on. And so I thought it'd be a good idea to start this morning rather than just sit around waiting for the sun to come out. So I've taken a little bit of a risk, but this would be fantastic, this walk in the sunshine. Again, you know, I'll just pan to the right. Just look at the quality here of the footpaths. Just look at that. It's this sort of orangey, shaly stuff. Not quite sure what it is. And that's off to my right, looking back towards Kircaldy. Morning, fellas. Good morning. Oh, look at this. Good morning. Morning, folks. Well, that was timely, wasn't it? I'm in this delightful little village. Is this Dysart?
Dysart.
Right. And you was telling me, Ian, that this was part of a film
Yeah,
set.
part of the series of Outlander. They
Right.
transformed this harbour into supposedly Le Havre. I'm not sure when it was. I'm not really a fan of it myself, but it attracts big tours. A lot of people come down here just to see it. Took all the boats out and
Yeah.
transformed all round about.
Right.
Used to be a commercial port a long time ago. Big sailing ships coming in and out.
Yeah.
But now it's just a recreational harbour.
Right. Right. Well, it certainly looks as if it's got a great history. I mean, look at that wall where they've done all that. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
well,
isn't it?
apparently this was a quarry,
Yes.
and
Initially, well, right.
I believe that was the entrance to a coal mine.
Really? Wow. You say you've got connections with Hull then? You used to,
Yeah, I
used
was
to live
at
in Hull?
college in Hull.
Yeah.
Started as I'm an engineer cadet with BP
Oh, really?
in 1973.
Wow.
Stayed in Alliance Avenue.
Yeah.
And my wife's family, her mum's family's for the Scunthorpe area, Lincoln,
Yes.
a wee place called Alston Ferry.
Yes.
So she's a lot of relatives down there.
And that's going up towards like Goole and that way.
Yeah, aye.
Yeah, that's
inland,
right. Yeah. Yeah, I was saying my grandmother used to. When I think about it, there's Alliance Avenue and Delapole Avenue.
Delapool, that's it.
Delapole Avenue.
And there was a great wee
grandma
fish and
lived there.
chip shop on the corner.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember. My doctor was immediately across the road. Well, that brings back memories. That's my stomping ground. That's where I was brought up around there.
It wasn't far for the football ground.
That's right, Boothbury Park. It's all been demolished now. It's a big housing estate now. Yeah, I used to live right behind there as well. Our house used to back onto the North Road. Yeah,
Small world, eh?
certainly is. Well, lovely to meet you, Ian.
You too.
You've got a beautiful dog there.
Millie.
That's just full of love, that dog, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a border collie
Come on.
reject. Because she's white, she's not any good as
Really?
for working or breeding or anything.
Yeah, she's beautiful, aren't you?
Just a pet.
So affectionate.
Yeah, she's really good nature.
You're really a nice, lovely dog, aren't you? You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You want some more attention? Oh, you're gorgeous. Eh? Right, well,
Right.
I'll move on. Very nice to meet
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you very much. Bye now. Well, the weather's changing slightly. It's starting to brighten up now and it's actually stopped raining. Not that it was raining hard, it was only like spitting. But I've got to tell you how lucky I was when I was in Dysart. You may remember I was sitting on a log watching some joggers running past. And after that point, I went into the village and was talking to a very nice guy, Ian, who had Hull connections in the past. And a nice little conversation. He had that lovely dog with him. Well, I carried on walking again for about maybe 2 miles and I heard this shouting, "Jim! Jim!" And I turned around and there's Ian almost jogging with his dog to try and catch me, and so I stopped. And he said, "I've got something for you." I said, "Well, oh yeah?" He said, "Here we are." And he handed me my mobile, my iPhone. It had obviously slipped out of my pocket while I was sat there and doing the filming. I didn't realise. And it chased me for about 2 miles to give me my phone back. So he's not on YouTube or Facebook or anything. I can't write and thank him, but I gave him a hug. Can you imagine what a mess I would have been in had I have lost that phone? I remember the last time I had all that messing around when I capsized in that canoe that time. And with the faffing around I had and starting again and the contacts and God knows what, even though I back it up onto the iCloud and everything. You know, it's the expense and the messing around, and wow, am I relieved, absolutely, totally and utterly elated. And the problem is I've started wearing shorts that I was wearing last year in the summer because they've got more pockets, but the more pockets you have, the more stuff you carry. And when I've got my yellow coat on, as you see, as I have now, it creates more pocket space, but the very shallow pockets, and I'm going to have to get out of the habit of putting the phone in my yellow fleece thing. What a lucky escape. I feel quite amazed really that I got that back. He said, "I knew it was you," he says, "because you've got your name inside it, and on one of the cancer research links, so that was really, really fortunate." It's just before 11 o'clock now, and I've found a cafe that opens at 11 o'clock, which is another stroke of luck. They say things happen in threes. Well, I got my phone back. I found a really nice cafe. I wonder what's going to be the next really nice thing that's going to happen to me. I certainly know that this is a very interesting walk, and I know I've done the first part of it in, not such good weather, but it's starting to warm up now. The sun's starting to poke through, and it's all looking very good. Now look at this dog heading my way. Hello. Oh, look at you. Are you gorgeous? Look at this. What's his name?
Doogie.
Boogie.
Yeah, Doogie.
Doogie. Oh, Doogie. Oh, you're beautiful. Look at, he's nearly as big as you, isn't he?
Hello, Dougal. You're not getting any smaller, are you?
He's a How old is he?
He's about 5 years old, I think, something
5.
like that.
Right. So will he grow any bigger than that? That's more or less, he's going to stay at that size.
Yeah, he's fully grown.
Right. Just a minute, Dougal.
Looks as if he's waiting for something. Does he get some bones or something?
Well, they put out water, but water's already there. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, I think he just likes a fuss from everybody he can find.
Yes. Oh, yes.
That's got to be.
He's getting a treat.
Oh, there you go.
There.
Should I put my beanie on?
You lucky boy.
There you go.
No, you're still not going in there.
You have a good walk.
So what breed of dog is he?
Deerhound.
A deerhound.
Yeah.
Well, Dougie, you're beautiful, aren't you? Beautiful fella. Lovely. That's lovely. Well, I reckon I'm not that far now from my destination. I've just walked through some fairly industrial lands and wanted to run down kind of areas which weren't really worth filming, if I'm to be honest with you. I've spotted one or two things that might come in useful. I've seen some masts which give out high frequency signals and all this kind of stuff. As I've been walking along, I've noted where they are, more or less on the old docks. Coming back down here, but that might get me out of trouble. I need to go and do a bit of shopping. Need some food and some beer and stuff again, and then I'm going to just take it really easy. It's been a good walk actually, I've enjoyed it, but I must admit I do feel a bit tired. I've hardly stopped actually, I've just kept on going, and the weather's improved now. We've got this lovely sunshine back again, which is what I said would probably happen. But it's been a great walk and I've made it to Leven. That now means I can start planning going further ahead, and I'll probably try and make St Andrews tomorrow. So I'll see you later.